wore the Freedom Czar hat. A state representative caught me at one of the tea parties, and he goes, I've got to have a picture of that. He put it on, it made the newspapers, and then at the evening Atlanta Tea Party, which is very, very big, he introduced me. He says, as a state representative, I'm using all the authority of my office. I want to present to you Stella Lohmann, Georgia Freedom Czar. I hope you'll support her, because she's an activist citizen who's doing what she can do for this country. And so, so I formed a group called Freedom Czars of America.
Oh, cool. Oh, I noticed you because you were taking pictures of Maggie and I as we're just doing informal interviews, because it's got to be informal. Let's get out in here.
Yes,
but of course, it's the Bloggers Lounge, and all of us have multiple opinions on the same thing, all at the same time.
Well, we have different opinions and different perspectives, but when it comes down to it, we have one main common goal.
Yep.
We want this country to be better. We want it back to where the people are represented more, and big government is getting out of the way. It's getting out of hand. And I'm so encouraged to see people who have never used their voice before to come forth. I'm a former broadcast journalist.
Okay.
And the day that I was told how to report a story before I went to it, I decided my parents trained me to be a good girl. And I just said, I kind of went to sports then.
Okay.
So, me and Sarah Palin have that going on. But the thing is that I never lost the love for my country.
Well, all of a sudden I've got two questions going off in my head.
Okay.
One is, do you have the hat here?
Yes, I do.
Oh, go get it, please. Do you have it here in the Bloggers Lounge?
No, it's up in my room.
Would you promise to come back and let us see it?
I will. If you go on Facebook and look up my name, I'm Stella Lohmann. I'm wearing my Freedom Czar hat.
Okay.
And I also have Freedom Czars of America, where you can, I like or whatever. We are putting together hats for everyone. Sarah Palin even mentioned when she saw mine, she said that we need more Freedom Czars to mention. So, it's like you need no Senate confirmation. Obviously, we've got that one down packed, right? And you can have as many as you want.
Okay.
There are a couple of qualifications. You have to love your God and country and to defend this Constitution. And the second one is that you can't be faint of heart. You have to have the courage to open your mouth up and show up.
Maggie and I were talking a lot about that, where a lot of first-time people are starting to realize and wake up. And you bring up that next point. It's not enough to yell at the TV. It's not enough to throw the newspaper across the room and hopefully miss the cat or the dog. But people have to stand up and say, politicians put their pants on the same way we do. Either one or two. If you're standing, well, I suppose if you're standing and you jump and you're very good at it, you can do both sides at the same time, but it's either one or two at the same time. They're no different than us. And it's nice to show respect for the audience, but they're no different from us. They are only humans. And because we have so elevated government and those who govern us, we're often too scared to talk to these people, or sometimes too scared to yell at them, until starting last summer, where lots of them got yelled at, and I think rightfully so. But the point that you brought up is that we have to get involved. We have to say, we're going to ask you questions. We're going to ask you hard questions. And trust me, if you don't give us the straight answers, we will find you out. So, you're perfectly right about saying you got to get up and speak up.
Well, and I agree totally with what you're saying, the way I do it. Is this Maggie? Are you Maggie?
No, this is my wife, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Maggie was the lady who was sitting here. Maggie Thurber of Thurber Spots.
Well, you know what? We're all best friends because we know where we come from. We have those convictions. It's almost like when you meet people at events like this or at tea parties, you already know a lot about them. You know that they're willing to come out and spend time and effort to be here. You know that they want their country back, whether the details are something else. But like you said, a leader emerges when they have a message and they can convey it rightfully so. As we found out with somebody who's in office right now that had a good speech. The thing is that right now all of us have areas of influence that none of us can touch. Nobody has your neighbors. Nobody has your family. Nobody has a voice that you take one-on-one. And that's how we do this, one-on-one. And so I'm so encouraged by that. the way I say it is that we all have poo-poo mouth in the morning, no matter what title you have. And nobody has a U-Haul parked next to their grave. So what's really important is the people and what you do with your life to invest in this country, to make it better.
Yeah, and you're right, because I came in here setting up, and I turned to my wife, the most esteemed wife of TMEW, but as I put it on GraniteGrok. It's like, this is like a homecoming for me, because I know a lot of the bloggers that are here floating in and out, we've known each other for a few years now. We've linked to each other's blogs. We've talked to them on the phones or in person.
Yes.
So part of it is right, but you're right, when you go to some of these events, and you've never met someone, you and I have never met. The only reason why I asked you to sit down, you were taking a picture, so I figured you were interested. And now you've turned out to be interesting. And the reason for that is that we share a common bond in that we don't want to outsource our responsibilities to government. We don't want to say the stuff that used to be done by families and friends and neighbors to help those in need. We don't want government to do that because charity is an individual thing. Charity does not come from government.
Exactly. Well, the thing is that...
more people coming in.
There are so many people who, I'm all for helping people out, but the government wasn't the one that was supposed to be doing that. Our neighbors, just like you said, that's how our country was made. They all went to somebody's farm and helped them put up the barn. Somebody's sick, they can't help them take care of their families. That's the American way. We've lost that because now everyone's looking to the government to provide those things. And that's got to stop because we can't pay for it anymore.
Maggie Thatcher, former Prime Minister of Britain, had the great line of socialism works until you run out of other people's money. And folks, as our federal government is spending spending $1 of your money, always remember that 43 cents of that is coming from China. And that's the way it goes. And I want to say thank you for taking that was the other question I didn't get to. What was so interesting that you were taking our pictures? I'm just curious here.
Because I'm just like you. I use my medium, which is a camera. I used to be a television reporter, so I used to have a cameraman go with me, and I had the source to convey my work, my reports. Well, now the new media is you and me, or anybody else who just chooses to pick up a camera, to set up an account. There's opportunities like this one to where you can glean other ideas, or you can grow, or you can even speak and help others. We're in this together. We're all in this together.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you very much for stopping by. And actually, the look on your face when I said, "Well, have a seat, let's talk," was, what am I getting myself into? But I'm glad you did.
Well, I appreciate it. As you can see, I'm usually behind the camera more, so I used to be in front of the camera. You know what? If on Facebook, I've already posted some pictures from this very room, and so I wanted to include and add pictures to that.
Sure.
So if anybody goes to Stella Lohmann, LOHMANN, or StellaLohmann.com, you can find me somewhere on there. If you Google me, I'm sure there's no way you're going to miss me. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, Stella, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You go, gal, and you help keep us free, and Freedom Czar you.
And I'll bring that hat back so we can get a picture of your hat and my hat together.
Ooh, that'll work. You do that for us, right? Thank you. Thank you. I won't keep you any longer.
All right, thank you.